capitalist who I was speaking to recently, he was looking for a partner. He was in mid 30s, a very rich person. It took him one and a
Yeah.
half years to get attention on Tinder. So experiences are what create memories. And a lot of people want to do experiences in this world, but they don't know, they don't want to go alone. We have 6,500 experiences on our app now coming. We have a lot of investors who have believed in us. We have raised half a million US dollars, and we're about to raise 1 million US dollars. We don't want people to be under the pressure of love or hookups or long-term relationships. We just want people to go out, have fun, because that is how connections are built.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the show. I'm here, as always, joined by my wonderful co-host Adi, and we're also here with a special guest, Sunny. Sunny and I, we haven't actually met directly before, but we know of each other, I guess. I know of him, I should say. Anyways, so just to kick off Love Month, I think it's great to have Sunny on. Sunny is a co-founder of a dating app, a founder of a dating app called Spark. But without revealing too much, perhaps we can start off by getting to know you a little bit, Sunny. So just could you tell us about yourself? So who are you? What do you do? That sort of thing, or something about yourself.
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Sunny Khurana. So I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a dreamer, and I have relentless passion for building communities with meaningful connections. I'm originally from New Zealand and I moved to Bangkok. I came with just one suitcase and chasing a vision. And last 18 months, I have built Spark. It's a dating app with focuses on experiential connections rather than swiping and texting. And yeah, my journey is fueled by resilience, a love for people, and desire to create something special, something impactful, and something amazing.
Awesome.
That's my
That's
story.
great. Yeah.
hmm
And what inspired you to start Spark?
Well, the inspiration is basically, Spark is the first experience-based dating platform which connects people through curated, meaningful experiences, interactions, rather than the endless swipes in the chats that are currently going on the current apps. So the inspiration came from basically from observing how the current modern dating apps have become very transactional and very overwhelming. So I
Mm-hmm.
decided I wanted to create a space where people could actually genuinely connect through shared experiences and fostering deeper connections rather than superficial matches. So connections over matches was my inspiration, yeah, which is currently lacking, yeah, especially in the digital world that we are in. People are actually chasing real world human experiences and connections. Yeah.
I really like the word that you used just now, transactional. That's something that I've read about recently as well, saying that I think Tinder and Hinge makes the most money for people coming back to use the app actually, rather than just actually finding love and then being
Right.
with someone. So they try to make it, try to gamify it as much as possible, that sort of thing with the swipes, as
hmm
you said. So that's very interesting.
Yep. Sort of goes back to the casino where you sit on the roulette, you sit on the slot
Right. Yeah.
machines, and you keep putting in the money, and something about it is very addictive. And then you just keep on swiping, looking at these beautiful pictures, but you actually never get to meet anyone or chat with
Yeah.
anyone.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very
For
transactional. Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, and I think that's a huge problem of modern dating as well. Is I think
Mhm.
a lot of people are just seeking attention. Like, they'll just get a match and feel happy about that, and
Mhm.
that doesn't really mean anything, unless you actually go and meet the person. And so many times it can be much
Mhm.
harder to actually go out there and actually go on the date. So it's great that you're doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the venture capitalists who I was speaking to recently, he was looking for a partner. He was in mid 30s, a very rich person. It took him one and a
Yeah.
half years to get attention on Tinder.
Wow.
Yeah.
A venture capitalist. He wrote, I'm a venture capitalist. People don't believe you.
Yeah.
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 They just judge you on the photo and they don't even go bother writing if there's that kind of a situation. So it's pretty sad.
Wow. Yeah. So you said that your app Spark is more about experience. Could you get into more detail?
Right. So basically, I believe words are easily forgotten, but experiences are remembered.
Right.
Right. If
Mm-hmm.
I have to thank you and if I give you $50, you will probably forget about it soon. But if I send you $50 worth of gifts, maybe a nice perfume or a nice flower or something, which will make you remember that. So experiences are what create memories. And a lot of people want to do experiences in this world, but they don't know, they don't want to go alone. For example, if you have landed in a new city and you have the money, and there's a beautiful restaurant highlighted in a magazine, and you want to go there, but you don't want to go alone. So right now, if you were to go on any dating apps, it'll take you ages before you'll
Yeah.
match, before you'll chat, before you'll agree to meet, before you'll book a place, you'll curate a date. It's just so cumbersome, so much friction. Over
Mm-hmm.
here, we call ourselves from match to meet in moments, which means that you land in a city today, you book a restaurant, you'll be able to see who's free this evening and who also likes to dine out. And then you'd be able to send this invite to that person for this evening because the booking is booked. You can actually book the place, the time, the package, the cuisine on our app and send it and share it with anyone else. Would you like to join me? So that makes it so
Mm.
much easier, and so many questions are answered. You're going in a public place, you're enjoying a beautiful experience together. There is no force of nature. There is no pressure of either it's a hookup or long-term relationship. It's just an experience that you're sharing good conversations and let the connection build up as you're sitting together. And so that's the whole premise behind it. And I also realize it's very unique because nobody's currently actually doing it. There's a cruise party, let's say it's happening right now. I don't know about it, first of all. Even if I do become aware of it, I don't want to go there alone. So imagine now on our app, if there's a cruise party highlighted because you like water sports. And we also highlight four other people who also want to go there. Would you like to send an invitation and go with them? So now it's a date happening. We're actually matching people over some interesting, exciting experiences. So that's what we're building. And we have 6,500 experiences on our app now coming. We have partnered with
Wow.
5,000 experiences. And then we've signed up with Hungry Hub, which gives us 1,500 fine dining, upmarket to speakeasy bars, all these venues. So you can imagine we are about to we are about to create a lot of experiences between people out there. Yeah, and a lot of
Yeah.
connections. Yeah, not just matches, connections. Yeah.
Yeah, and it seems like to me what you've done is taken like an event finding services and
Mhm.
like an event finding app and combine it with a dating app so that
Correct.
you
Correct.
can find the event and you can find the people to go with.
Mm.
And I think
Correct.
that's super cool.
Yeah.
Just
I
merge them
know.
together.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah. Takes a lot of work, but yeah, it is what it is. That's what you do to change and disrupt an industry which is currently so boring. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's, to be fair though, looking at, when you think about dating apps, it's always the big three, right? Tinder, Bumble, Hinge. I guess I would say
Mhm.
perhaps also Coffee Meets Bagel these days is also pretty huge, and then there are also smaller ones. So isn't it quite daunting to join an industry that is so dominated already by all of these guys?
Look, if you do not have a unique selling proposition,
Yeah.
right, then it's
Right.
daunting. But if you're doing something
Mm-hmm.
different, then it's not daunting because now you are leading the pack in a different
Mm.
direction.
Sure.
So that is where things are different. Yeah. If I was doing another dating app, exact copy of Tinder or Bumble, then it's not just daunting. It is not something which people would support
Right.
because then you're called a copycat.
Mm-hmm.
But when you are innovating, when you are doing something bold, which has not been done before, which people are excited about, then people start to join your journey, join your cause, and start to help you. So I'm very lucky. We have a lot of investors who have believed in us. We have raised $500,000 US, and we're about to raise 1 million US dollars. Very accomplished people have invested in our business. And there's a lot of people who are joining us now in our team, from CMO to country manager for Singapore to CMO for Thailand. So I'm just suggesting that what we're doing is amazing and exciting. So this is not about daunting. This is about excitement of changing things, shaking things.
For
Yeah.
sure.
So yeah, when you go into war, you don't worry about what could
Yeah.
happen. You just go with the motive that we have to win.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then the daunting goes
Mm-hmm.
away. Mm.
And I think like people in general, like they're really rooting for you. They want something because I've read so many things about people being tired about dating apps because
Hmm.
they can't find connections. Like even last week, I was just talking to someone. It's like, yeah, I deleted the apps because just wasn't working for me. I wanted real life connection, so I started going to
Mm.
more events and places.
That's true. And if you would have noticed that it's very interesting. We have actually spoken to a lot of girls who people would say are very pretty, very much
Mm-hmm.
would be in demand. You would say guys would want to ask them out. We've asked them how often do you actually get asked out? And the answer was 0 to 1.
Hmm.
Basically they don't get
Right.
asked out. So the problem is that guys inherently fear rejection. And
Yeah.
that's one, so they do not make the approach. And then even if they were to make the approach, it looks very creepy
Yep.
to be doing that. And also look at the girl's perspective. Let's say if I'm assuming in this case that a guy is approaching a girl, the girl is having to take a decision in split second, in a few seconds.
Yeah.
She doesn't have the data points again, right? At that instance. So obviously, in that instance, it's very hard to take a decision unless it's you are 10 out of 10, the way you're dressed or whether you look, or maybe there's physical attraction. 99.9%, it's a hey, it's a no, in the sense that
Mm-hmm.
even if you want to say yes, it just looks creepy to say yes to someone. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, it happens, but I'm just saying that
Yeah.
I'm talking generalistic in the
Yeah.
masses. So there is a problem here. So asking out has become very daunting and very hard. So we are now creating this economy where you can ask anyone out, even on a social media platform. For example, if you see a girl or a guy on a social media platform and you see that person is enjoying a beachside something activity. So now you could go to
Yeah.
Spark, curate a beautiful beachside activity date, and
Yeah.
press a button. A link gets created. You can copy and paste that link onto that person's social media, direct DM them or message them. And then when they
Yeah.
click on the link, they get straight to your profile and they get to see the real you and the activity. And then they can also onboard themselves or accept your invite
Hmm.
here. So we're just creating an economy of asking out
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
rather than swiping.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Ask her out, ask him out. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I actually really like this, and
Yeah.
I thought about this time when I was with my friend actually,
Mm,
and saw this girl that he thought was really pretty, right? Just
mm,
randomly, and he
mhm,
asked me,
mhm,
"Hey Tong, do you think I should ask her out?" I said, "No,
mhm.
don't do that. That's creepy." But then, but then, in my mind, if they had met through some sort of activity, like if they were in the same
Mhm,
running club or if they were in the same book club,
mhm,
there's something to talk
mhm.
about. Yeah.
Yes,
And so that's not
correct.
creepy. That's completely natural. That's normal.
That
Yeah.
is correct.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I definitely
Yeah,
see that.
yeah. See, I'm a member of a few clubs, right? So when I go to these clubs, when amazing people come in, I see them all sitting alone in a corner, looking at each
Yeah.
other, and I wonder why they don't speak because these clubs don't have a dating angle to it. So people want to be approached. People want to approach people to be speaking with them, to speak with them, and do things together. But yeah, there is no dating angle to
Yeah.
clubs. There is no dating angle to restaurants. There is no dating angle to rooftops. So we're adding that element
Right.
to that. Yeah.
I think the other issue is that these social media and like dating apps, they've made it kind of you can fake it so you feel like you're
Mm,
doing something but you're really not. So you can tell yourself like, oh, I have a dating app, I have a dating profile, so I'm doing my best to get find a date, but so
mm,
you think you're
mm.
asking someone out, and it's easier to ask someone out online, so you think you're doing it, but it doesn't come across as naturally, and
It's
it's
just
much
not
harder to
necessary.
do it in person. And
Correct.
yeah, so I think there's
Yeah.
a whole lot of issues there,
A lot
which
of
I
issues.
think
Yeah.
your app is great at addressing. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, we're trying. Yeah. We believe that will change things. Yeah. Already a lot of excitement amongst people. We have not even started launched the marketing, and we have 2,500 active profiles currently liking, matching, and we're
Yeah.
about to launch mega marketing campaigns. Yeah, in February. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exciting.
So where's the app currently available, and
Well,
what's your goal for the future?
well, it's available currently in Thailand.
Yeah.
And the best part about an app business is that it's about switching the button on or off. So we have
Mhm.
switched on the button in Thailand, and we'll be switching on the button in Singapore in April. And then
Yeah.
later this year, we will go launch operations in India. And then, so these are the current markets, Thailand and Singapore and India. is on our radar for 2025. And then 26, we'll
Mm-hmm.
go into more markets, multiple 6, 7 markets together in 26. So we want to be all across Asia by 2030.
Okay.
Yeah, in 30 markets. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. So a lot of work for you ahead, but yeah,
Yes, but
seems
it's
like you're on
fun
the right
work.
track.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
It's exciting work. Helping people meet, helping people create beautiful memories, helping counter the population decline in Japan and
Right.
Korea. So a lot of
Yeah.
good things
For sure.
happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Mm.
I was also wondering, is there anything else that sets you guys apart from all the bigger dating apps that are currently on the market?
Well, safety, yes. So imagine you're able to open an app on Tinder or Bumble with just a photo,
Right.
right? Whereas on our app, we actually vet profiles. So it is by invitation only.
Okay.
So what we're doing is that first of all, for example, on our app, the first thing we do is get you to take a selfie and then turn your left head to the left or right.
Hmm.
Now, the advantage of this is that we are making sure that the person on the other side is a real person and not just a picture taken from the internet.
Right.
Then we
Mm-hmm.
verify your mobile phone so we know you're a real who can be reached. Imagine right now, anyone can open a dating app on any on a profile on any
Yeah.
dating app without any verification, pick a picture from the internet, paste it there, get ChatGPT to write an amazing, attractive profile, and then match, and then invite people to a date. And then now look at the girl's perspective. So many
Yeah.
fears. Who is he? What's his background? Is he for real? What he's written, is it true? And there's a lot of bad experiences happening.
Yeah.
A lot of bad experiences
Mm-hmm.
happening. I would like you to know that. So this is where another thing is that we are actually making it safer as well while reducing dating
Yeah.
cycles by, yeah. So a lot of mistakes are getting happen. Yeah, yeah.
I was always confused why they all these other dating sites don't have the verification from the get go. They have the blue
Yeah.
tick sort of thing. I remember they had it
Hmm.
on like, I think all actually most of them have like a verification kind of tick that this person has
Hmm.
been verified. But I don't know why they do it from the start,
Hmm.
like you guys do.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's
Hmm.
quite weird.
Yeah. So we also
Yeah. It's not a
collecting.
requirement. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a requirement. But in our case, it is. Now we are having to play the fine um, line between building traction
Yeah.
versus enforcing all of
Yeah.
this. So what we are trying to do right now is targeting the right people, letting people in, building the flywheel. And as we have a cohort of 50,000 people, then we start to get them to mandatorily share their social media with us. And so right now we're just trying to get some feedback on the app as well.
Mm-hmm.
Features, what's working, what's not working. But that's the end goal. So we are doing some verifications right now in terms of your selfie, your phone. By the way, our CTO Aman is also building an amazing AI-based app, which basically looks up your social media profiles and Googles you and try and find red flags. So we will keep on developing more
Wow.
and more with the new technology that's coming up here. Yeah, we the idea is, um, for example, I joined a, a local elite club here, and so I was interviewed twice
Yeah.
over and above the application that I completed. So they interviewed me twice before they said, okay, we're in. And there's a wait list currently, I'm hearing of 1,000 people who are not able to get in.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
but now when I go in there, I feel safe because I know all the people in there are vetted. I know I don't have to
Yeah.
worry. So
Yeah.
conversations can go much easier when you know that there's no wrong kind of element. Right now, there is a lot of fear amongst women. We may not realize it, but they do fear.
Yeah. No,
Yeah. Mm.
definitely. And I think another issue with dating apps is like there's like huge gender disparity, like more guys than women.
Yeah.
So how are you addressing that with Spark?
Yeah. So I believe you also mentioned that there was some ex-Bumble employee mentioned about the same thing. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So basically, we are intending to keep our ratio as 1:1 by limiting the number of people that we let in because
Mm-hmm.
obviously we are on a wait list. So we currently have 2,500 active profiles and we have 700 people on a wait list. Now, the reason we are keeping that wait list is to A, build exclusivity, B, also control the gender ratio. So it's like in a nightclub. You will see a bouncer standing outside, and if you're a bunch of five guys, you will only get in if they've noticed that there's more girls inside, and we need to balance the gender. So we are trying to build that, of course, maintain a gender balance, and vetting our members to create a respectful and engaging environment. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And I I would
Yeah.
also assume that you guys also have a way to track active users and inactive users. And
Oh, yes, we are. Every time you press a button on the app,
yeah,
we know
right.
because we have all these tracking software. So let's say if you come on the
Yep.
app, you look what profiles you're viewing for 1 second and what profiles you're viewing for 20 seconds. So we are now our AI learning.
Right. Okay.
So about
Mm.
your preferences. Because next time you log in, we want to show you the first four screens of the app have to be the one that makes you fall in love with our app. So we want to show you profiles who have similar habits and hobbies of the profile that you last time visited for a longer period as compared to the profile that you
Yeah.
skip through very quickly. So this is
Mm.
AI building, collecting data on you, and we want to make that
Yeah.
experience even better. Then we will also take over people's calendars. So if you're traveling, we will know from your calendar that you have a ticket booked. So now we know where you're going on what date. And we also know that you would love to do things over there. So we will start to nudge you. For example, let's say if you're traveling to Tokyo, and so we know from your calendar you have a ticket booked. So we will start nudging you, hey, Tokyo, would you like to try this restaurant? Would you like to go play guitar over here? Would you like to do a salsa dance lesson? Or would you like to drive a Porsche around Tokyo?
Mm-hmm.
These experiences will start to excite you. Wow, things that I can do I didn't even know existed. Then you will get an indication, by the way, Tina, Meena, and Nina are also available on that day, and they also have the same experiences on the wish list. Would you like us to send
Mm.
them an invitation if you would like to go out do it together on a so now suddenly sitting here 2 weeks before, I'm already organizing what amazing things I can do in Tokyo, which I don't want to do alone. So the app is also helping me find people that I can go and do this with. So we are trying to get to the next level of what you call the dating app in the Black Mirror era, which could not have been done in the past because
Yeah.
there was no technology. But now we have
Yeah.
AI. We can start to build a persona of you
Mm.
so close to you that it will start to do things even without you having to do it. And another
Yeah.
feature that we're adding is that we're having a broadcast feature. Imagine you are ending up in Tokyo. You already picked a restaurant that you want to do, right? Now, what you do is on our app, you will pick that restaurant, you will announce your availability on Thursday night, going out for this dinner, and you broadcast it. So now let women who are keen to join you apply. They will now come to you and say, hey, I'm free, I'm free. So now you get to pick. So we are changing the tables, we are turning the tables in guys' favor because Bumble has given it a women first thing. We are making it the guys can act classy and full of character and demonstrate their best foot forward to get better
Mm-hmm.
results, yeah, in their matching, yeah, and standing out. Imagine that venture capitalist I spoke to you about,
Yep.
who took a year and a
Yeah.
half
If
to
he
get
had
matched
that.
on
Yep.
Tinder. If he
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
this and he had booked a beautiful $500 experience
Yeah.
and broadcasted it, he would have stood out amongst all the others who may not have the same CCC, class culture character.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Maybe they are BBB, blind, boring, broke, but it was very hard to.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you an
Yeah.
Yeah.
idea,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I don't mean that
Yeah. Yeah.
intentionally, but you get it,
No.
right?
No. That's
Yeah.
true.
Yep.
So and
Yeah.
that's the 97% of the market, yeah, not matching, yeah. 93%, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No. That's really
Mm,
neat that you're flipping the tables a little bit. And yeah, even
correct.
with Bumble, like I don't think it really worked out, right? Because they added like new features and stuff where like the guy still has to respond first. Again, kind of just flip the tables again. Didn't really help that much. But my
Oh,
question is like, what's
yes,
your
correct.
business model like? Like how making money by partnering with these experience providers, or are like the individuals paying for the services? Like how does that work?
Yeah, so we are going to be making money. One is through a paywall. Yeah, this. So just to give you an idea of why. So okay, one is paywall. You will have to pay a monthly Netflix fee. subscription
Yep.
to stay on the
Yep.
platform, which will get expensive more and more as we go. That would be our way of kind of also seeing. Anyway, so that's one. Second is we are also going to mark up all the experiences. So if you're going and booking a experience to ask a girl out, which costs $200, I'm just giving you
Mm-hmm.
a ballpark figure just out of the thin air.
Yeah.
Then we will
Yeah.
charge a 10% service fee, which is
Yeah.
about $22. And then sometimes we might even mark up the experiences to the perceived value. What looks
Mm-hmm.
like, it's like a Louis Vuitton bag. It costs just $50
Mm-hmm.
to make, but the perceived value is 5,000.
Right.
So
Mm.
in our case, if there's a Michelin star restaurant package, which includes a bottle of champagne, if it costs
Mm-hmm.
$300, we can mark it up to 350, depending on how much in demand those seats are, what's the long wait time. If it's a 4 week wait time for that restaurant, and we are
Mm-hmm.
releasing it this coming weekend, so then people are willing to pay premium. So there's subscription fee
Okay.
and there's a markup on the experiences. So we have two ways. And I prefer to keep it simple with these two revenue models, while there's other revenue possibilities going forward, but I prefer not to talk about them because I like to keep things simple. Yeah. So
Yeah.
these two
Makes
ones.
sense.
Yeah. Mm.
There's something that I thought about while you were talking, which is, I think it's a rather, like, a little bit more obvious aspect of the business model, which is, with all of these nice experiences available, there might also be the possibility, right, that women might go on it just to experience all of these things, but are not necessarily looking for love. They're just out there just trying to have fun. Have you considered that also, or?
In fact, that is exactly what we want people to do. We don't want people to be under the pressure of love or hookups or long-term relationships. We just want people to go out have fun because that is how connections are
Mm,
built. If you meet a girl and you say, I'm looking for a long-term relationships, now there's pressure,
mm,
right? Maybe she's not into the guy, maybe she just wants to spend some time. Now, if the girl says the same thing, the guy starts dreaming already kids and he's already scared. So
yeah,
if you love cooking
yeah,
and if the girl loves cooking, you together go on a cooking
yeah,
class. You'll make mistakes, you'll drop something, you'll burn something, you'll smoke something, and then you'll tease each other. I'm better than you, you're better than me. And that leads to giggles, that leads to letting your guard down. Much better way to connect, and maybe they'll do it again, as opposed to, yeah. So I believe what you just said is exactly what we want to do. We don't
right,
want people to be under pressure. Why would you want
Mm.
to be with someone that you can't even enjoy your first date with, right?
right,
Right. And after the first date, if you don't want to meet again, then accept that you had a great time, you respect it. It was a brilliant date,
mm,
right? Even if you don't meet
Yeah.
again. Yeah, it's memories, right? Life is like that. Also, I also see that people are very busy these days. A lot of people have kind of made up their mind that they don't want to go into long-term relationships. They want to focus on their careers. They want to focus on their priorities in life. But at the same time, they want a dating life as
yeah,
well. So that
Mm-hmm.
leads to having good experiences rather than because dating should not always be just because I want to find love. Dating should be able to have fun, right? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I think it just offers a good way to connect with people and potentially meet
correct,
someone interesting, but it's not
correct.
necessary for that.
Yes, yes. In fact, I believe on Mother's Day when you take your mom out for a restaurant,
Mm-hmm.
that's another way of celebrating life and experiences, whether it's Father's Day, Mother's Day, Valentine's
Yeah.
Day, wedding anniversaries, birthdays. So we are going to target all everything. So we will have your calendar. So if it's your birthday coming up, we will start to nudge you. It's your birthday coming up. Would you like to do this or that or this or that? And remember, we understand your persona. So we know what you will want to do when you're chatting with a girl and you're telling her, I love red cars, we already know you love red cars, right? So we are building their persona.
yeah,
So if you talk about you've been to Sweden before, so we know you've been to Sweden.
Mm.
So I'm just giving you an idea. That leads to more what kind of cuisine we offer you, things you say. So we are really getting into the Black Mirror era. And so the only way to do it is to first break the mold because no one will believe in you if you're doing the same thing again and again and again. So
Mm-hmm.
what we're doing is very, very hard, but it's done now. Yeah, it's taken some time, but people are excited. Otherwise, I wouldn't be speaking to you if you didn't feel excited as well, So it's something new and fresh.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. You're almost building like a personal AI assistant who's like, managing your dating life almost, right? And I think that's
Correct,
where you're trying to
correct,
go.
Just an
So,
correct, correct.
AI wingman, basically.
Yeah, yeah. We have AI pickup lines as well. I don't know if you've had a check on our
Wow.
app. Yeah. Have you had a look at the app, by the way?
Yeah, actually, yes, I've downloaded it
Yeah.
after the event right away, just out what Spark Love is all about. I'm
Yeah,
in a
but now,
relationship
but
though,
then
so
that's
I
okay.
didn't
No,
really,
but
yeah.
yeah. Well, I must correct you. You should download the app because now when you start the app, it asks you if you're already in a relationship, then you can go directly to the experiences aspect of the app, which means that now
Mm,
let's say if it's your partner's birthday, rather than having to think what you're going to do
yep,
this birthday, do something exciting. Now I'm just
mm,
give you an idea. For example, this profile over
yep,
here, I don't know if you can see. So rather than
yep,
go like this or this, which is what most people do, right? They swipe,
yep,
right?
yeah.
yep.
Right. But we do is we press this button. Now these are some of the things that she would love to do. Now she wants to go into a
Mm,
sound healing and therapy, right? Sound healing and therapy. So
Yeah.
I will click this. Now I'm actually checking out her profile, and these are the AI pickup lines. So I pick up a AI pickup line, and I have just asked her out on a date. See now she cannot say that I've never been
wow.
asked out.
That's so
Yeah.
good. Like you're not even had to write
Yeah,
the prompt yourself or think of the pickup line yourself. Um,
correct.
that's
But the best
that's
part is
crazy.
that yeah, but the best part is you're trying to connect on a
Yeah.
common interest activity and not saying like and hey. You're saying let's go do
Yeah.
this together. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then yeah,
There
it
we
just
go.
connects that.
No,
Mm.
it's definitely very interesting. I'm excited to
Mm.
see where this goes in the future. I think it has a lot of
Me
potential
too.
for sure.
Yeah.
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 Um.
Yeah.
So,
Next. Sorry.
So please. No, please go on.
Um. Yeah. So I just want to know, like, what's been the biggest challenge for you so far in developing this app and building this company?
Well, I was just watching a video from Jeff Bezos of Amazon,
Yeah.
and the video talked about his hardest days in life, which was when he launched Amazon. He
Okay.
raised $1 million from 20 investors, $50,000 each. And he admitted that that was the hardest thing he's ever done in life. So that is one of the things I would like to count. Raising money from investors is not easy, not easy, not easy, not easy. It's very hard. So that has been one of the biggest challenges of my life, raising this 500,000, which I've already raised.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the second challenge that we are facing is that we have to get traction. And so the traction requires a lot of marketing, and marketing requires a lot of money. So that is another challenge which we are currently kind of going through. Our biggest challenge, building traction with tight
Mm-hmm.
resources. But we have already built traction, but we overcame this through perseverance and an amazing team and listening to user feedback. And our CTO Aman, he's been instrumental in streamlining our development process and creating a product that we are proud of, which people
Yeah.
are enjoying. It's been a mix of everything. Yeah. So a few challenges I've just mentioned over here. Yeah.
definitely. And also, I was just wondering whether you guys have any success stories yet, or do you know of someone that has
Yeah.
used Spark before, and anything that stood out to you basically
Yeah. One
from
couple.
the users?
Uh, yeah, we've heard back from one couple who met at our launch party, and in fact, they were gifted an experience. And so they went on a
Yep,
rooftop dinner experience, and they shared how the setting allowed them to connect in a very distraction-free environment, in a very public place, in a very good ambience, and that
yep.
helped them build a connection. And now they're going on their first holiday. So I'm very happy and pleased. Yeah, we are actually going to be doing a video. We are going to be doing a video on this success once they return from a holiday because we would like to highlight such success stories. Yeah. Mm.
That's
Wow.
great. Yeah, like
Mm.
you've already seen some good things come out of the app, and even if one
Yes.
person found like a partner,
Yeah.
that's I would consider that a
It-
great success.
oh, amazing, amazing things are happening. I'm so excited. Really, it's going to be amazing. Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. I wanna go to a bit like more philosophical question perhaps, but like,
Mhm.
how do you define love, and then like How has that influenced the way you've designed Spark?
How do you define love?
Yes.
Okay, well, I would say love is a connection between two people when they give into each other unconditionally. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they call it unconditional love for a reason, and I believe that you have to give it to each other unconditionally and accept each other. So that can only happen when you are truly connected. Otherwise, you won't give into each other unconditionally. So it all comes back to the magic word, a connection. So connection can only come when you meet the right person in the right circumstances and in the right mind frame. And your atmosphere around you creates the mind frame. How would you feel if you go to a certain place where you don't want to be versus a place you'd love to be? Changes your
Mm-hmm.
mindset. It opens yourself to conversations and allows you to connect better. So if you have a connection, that's what leads to love. When the connection becomes so strong that love becomes unconditional.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I haven't confused you.
No, no, I'm following. Like basically, I think the main thing you're trying to say is like love is based on connection, right? And
Mm, mm,
you just need to create the environments where that natural
mm.
connection can occur. And once that connection
Correct,
occurs, like the unconditional love can bloom potentially. I
correct,
guess like with Spark, you're trying to help people achieve the first step, which is connection, by inviting them into these places that they'll enjoy being part of, and then they can meet someone else who will also enjoy being part of that atmosphere.
correct. Yeah. So the key is to creating an environment that fosters real connections rather than superficial ones.
Mm-hmm.
And so that how Spark is doing it is by focusing on shared interest and real world interactions rather than shallow
Yeah.
digital interactions. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So building this app, have you learned anything surprising about love or relationship? Like, have you had any like interesting realizations?
Well, basically, I've realized that I didn't realize the depth of problem until I decided to go into dating. And the reason I went into dating was because it's one of those three industries where people become pricing insensitive. You know, you may worry about your phone bill, your internet bill, but when you go out on a date, even if you spend more than what you had budgeted for, you still won't complain.
Mm-hmm.
So I have realized that people want to do things,
Yeah.
people have the resources to do things,
Mm-hmm.
but people don't have anyone to do it with.
Mm.
And then they don't do it.
Yeah.
And so it's a very vicious circle.
Yeah.
Everyone's very tired of swiping. I can tell you one thing, when you match with someone on Tinder or Bumble, guess what? Besides chatting with you, that other person is likely chatting with 10 other people at the same time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you are into this kind of a mindset where you're chatting, copying and pasting messages, or trying to see which one works. Now, let's say one works, that means the balance nine are rejects, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now imagine one of those nine could have been that we see.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you get it what I'm trying to say to you? It's all a
Yeah.
mishmash. So that's what I realized that it's
Yeah.
really broken. The industry is very broken. Yeah.
I think
So
you just
let's
need
do
to
something
find some.
exciting.
Yeah, I think you just need to find some single VCs, and like they'll probably fund your app. So
Yeah.
I'm just
that will
giving you an
solve the
idea,
challenge.
but I'm just saying, yeah. See, the
Yeah. Yeah.
population of this world is very huge. You know, we're
Yeah.
talking billions of people. Yeah,
Yeah.
we only need 300 paid members to make $100 million a year.
Oh wow.
So Tinder and Bumble, they're making $2 billion each revenue a year. So it's a very,
Yeah.
very cash cow industry. Yeah, people are willing to pay for loneliness
Mm-hmm.
to eradicate loneliness. Yeah,
To
people are
eradicate.
willing to pay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And why do you think this industry is price insensitive? Like, what's the reason for that?
It's just the way it is to win the attention of the opposite sex. People wear beautiful perfumes, drive beautiful cars, show off their beautiful clothes, dress up really nicely. It's just the way it is. There's a few industries in this world where money doesn't matter. One is your healthcare. If you're
Mm-hmm.
unwell, you will want the best doctor. You don't care how expensive. You will be
Yeah.
willing to give up everything if it can save your life. So
Mm-hmm.
money doesn't matter. Second is weddings. You know, everyone wants to have a big wedding. People can save money all their life, but when it comes to wedding, they want to spend it all.
Mm-hmm.
They just want a beautiful big wedding. And the
Yeah.
third is solitude, when people, the company of another human being. And now, the competition is so high out there in terms of finding love. Everyone's finding love, and there's so much of
Yeah.
choices. And so to stand out, people are willing to, like, it's like saying, why do people have to travel business class when they can be comfortable in economy? It's just the
Mm-hmm.
way it is. People who have the resources will travel first class. People who have the resources will travel business class. People who do not have the resources will travel economy class. So, similarly, in favor of dating, people who have the resources to stand out
Yeah.
will always be willing to stand out. Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's
They'll.
the pricing incentive. Yeah. In the market. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just a very human psychology 101, which you
Yeah.
learn over the years. I'm much older than you. I've experienced life a lot more. So these
Yeah.
are certain things which slowly become more and more evident. It's just the way we humans are. When you don't get
Yeah.
something, you wanted more. Yeah. And then you're willing to pay for it, do whatever it requires to be done to get it.
No, that's a very interesting way of looking at it because I
Mm.
definitely hadn't thought about it in that way before. But yeah, like if
Hmm.
someone is like super lonely, which a lot of our generation is, they'd be willing to just try out whatever. And like if they have the money and the resources, it doesn't really matter to them how much they're spending, as long as it
Mm.
fixes that problem. So I guess that's a good
Correct.
point.
Yeah. And most people who divorce once, right, who are separated, they're not really keen to get attached again. Very small
Mm-hmm.
proportion. But they do want to go out for dinners, share experiences, have great memories, but not necessarily get bound, yeah, again. Yeah. So there's a big market out there who's successful and who have various circumstances which don't allow them, yeah,
Yeah.
to
Like,
achieve
do
what
you
they
have
want.
a
Yeah.
target market for your app? Like, is there a
Yeah, I was about to
particular
ask as well.
audience they're going for?
Yeah, well, yeah, sure. We are targeting 30 plus age group, and our target market is the likes of, the Young Presidents Organization, Entrepreneurs Organization, luxury art lovers, luxury real estate, luxury car buyers. We are trying to go for the exclusive clubs. We are going for the entrepreneur. We are going for the
Hmm.
professional market. So that is our target market, and you will see that all our marketing and advertising is going to be focused toward that segment
Yeah.
primarily, and that is where we are, like we would call the Soho House crowd
Yeah.
for dating. For dating, yeah, that's the
Okay.
market.
So
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
more like affluent individuals. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm,
I
correct.
was. Mm. Yeah. No. I was going to say the same thing because like the more I hear about it, the more I'm like, as like a maybe 20-year-old or something, it's probably not too much for them. As in, it's like all these experience seem rather flashy.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
So it's probably not for like a university student or something like that to
Yeah.
People,
okay.
yeah, people under 30 are better suited to these current apps, the Tinder, Bumble, because these are basically mostly photo-based physical attraction kind of apps,
Yep.
and people under
Right.
30 don't have much of a challenge there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, okay. All right. I think we've been talking for quite a bit already, so I would like to move to the closing section.
Yeah.
And the first thing that I would like to ask you, Sunny, is if there's one piece of advice you could give an individual using a dating app for the first time, what would that be?
I would say be authentic. If, let's say, for example, a guy is going on a date with a girl, I can tell you women are very, very smart people. So they can sense fakeness. So be
Yeah.
open-minded, be authentic, focus on getting to get to know the person rather than projecting expectations on them
Mm-hmm.
Right.
onto them. That's my advice.
Okay.
Okay.
That's pretty
Yeah.
good. And then we both love reading. Do you have any book recommendations or, any podcasts you personally like to listen to that you would you should listen to as well?
Yeah. Okay. While I have a lot of books that I've read, if there's one recommendation I would like to make, especially for people who out there who also want to, whether they want to find love or whether they want to start a startup, what really matters is perseverance and passion. And there's a
Mm-hmm.
beautiful book that I would recommend called Shoebox. I
Shoebox.
recently read it. Yeah, it's a Phil Knight and something which every entrepreneur and dreamer will relate to. That was a nice book I recently read. Yeah.
So what's it
Mm.
about? Can you give us like a brief summary of it?
It's about it's all about struggles and how struggles make you stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that you want to do, the more painful it is, the bigger the results. The less painful it is, the shorter the results. Always
Hmm.
be hungry, always take the longer route, the path that has not been taken. And remember that the bigger the pain, the bigger the results. And
Mm.
it's really inspiring. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Wow. Okay, that sounds really good. Gotta give
Yeah.
that a go. Gotta add that to the
Yeah.
list.
Pain is pleasure.
Pain is pleasure.
It's just
Yeah.
No
whether you
pain, no
think,
gain.
yeah. No pain,
Yeah.
no gain.
Okay, I guess that's all. Finally, is there anything that you would like any final message you would like to give our audience, or if there's any way to reach out to you, you can also say that.
Yeah, sure. Look, I came to Bangkok. I had no friends, no connections, no nothing. And today I have so many friends here. I think it's all about being open to the world, having positive energy. And if you're on dating apps and you're tired of swiping and want to experience dating in a whole new way, then check out Spark. Download it at spark.love. You can follow us on social media to stay updated on our events and app features. All our social media links are on our website, spark.love. Let's redefine how we connect and find love.